Hello, welcome. Let us discuss about variables in Java. You can imagine a variable is like a labeled jar where you can store something. For example, if you have labeled this jar as cookies, you know that this jar is holding cookies. Similarly, in a programming, a variable is a name you give to a place in the memory where you can store the data such as integer, string, etc. It is a name given to a memory location or a place in a memory is called variable. We use the variable to store the data, to reuse the data later, and you can change the data whenever needed. Now let me open the IntelliJ IDE and let us practically look into various aspects of a variable. I have opened IntelliJ. Let me create one Java class called variables. Now let us understand how to declare variable. You use the syntax for declaring the variable, type of the variable, and name equal to value and semicolon. This is the syntax that we use for declaring the variable. This is the syntax. For example, if I want to declare an integer variable, I can declare int age equal to 10. Int means type of data, age is the name given to a variable, that is name of the memory location, and 10 is the value stored in this particular memory location. Now age is like a jar that we have discussed earlier, right? In the jar, if you store a cookie, you know that cookie is stored there. Similarly, age is a memory location where 10 is stored. So let me create a main function here. Public static void main string args. So we can use this variable here. For example, system.out.println. I will call it as static so that I no need to create an object. You can use like age equal to plus age. Here we are using this variable for printing purpose. If you run this now, it will print age equal to 10, right? You can use the variable in different ways. For example, I will say static int x is equal to 20, static int y is equal to 30, right? I can add these variables, that is using the variables, right? Using variables, system.out.println x plus y. It will print the value 20 plus 30, that is 50, right? If you run this, it should print 50. You can see here 50 is printed. So now you can also change the value of variable. For example, if I declare here, let us say changing value of variable. For example, I will declare here int a equal to 100. Then I can declare here a equal to 101. Here you assign the value, here you are changing the value. Now if you print the value of a, it should print 101. System.out.println, so capital S. So if I run this now, it should print 101, right? So in this way you can change the value of a variable as well. So there are some of the rules that you need to remember while declaring the variable or naming the variable. Those rules are rules for naming the variables. One is start with a letter. Start with letter, not number. Do not start a variable with a number, right? You can use underscore letter digit in between, right? In between you can use the digits letter, but you cannot start with a digit. You can also declare a variable starting with underscore. For example, int underscore b equal to 20. This is allowed, right? But you cannot start with a number. For example, 9b. This is wrong. It is throwing an error here, right? So start with a letter. That is what is telling here, right? You cannot start with a number, the variable name, right? This is wrong. And in between you can use a number, letter, right? That is okay. For example, I can say here int a9 equal to 10. This is okay. It is starting with a letter, but in between you can use a number. That is okay, right? But you cannot start with a number. 9a is wrong, And also one more rule is cannot use special characters like at the rate, percentage, etc. If I declare something like int percentage a equal to 10, it is wrong. It is throwing error here. You can see at the rate a, this is also wrong, right? This is not allowed. So these are some of the simple rules that you need to remember. Start with the letter, and after that you can use the underscore, digits, numbers in between. Cannot use special characters like at the rate, percentage, etc. You can use underscore, that special character, it is allowed, but you cannot use this hash. Say for example int hash a equal to 10, this is wrong, it is not allowing, right? But you can use underscore. You cannot use percentage, this is wrong, it's not accepting, right? These are the some of the special characters which are not allowed while you are declaring the variables. This is about how you declare and use the variable in Java. Thank you for watching.